going to do a beaded shishamir, and that is what is on these pieces. So you all learned how to do a basic shishamir, and it's basically the same thing except you do not use embroidery floss, you use beading thread. So here's our sequin, and we're going to do step one, where I'm going to put the sequin on with using that net. So we're going to come over with 2 parallel lines. For this, I like to try to match the bead thread to the sequin so that it just kind of disappears. So we do our 2 parallel lines, we come the other side and go perpendicular. Remember, we have to lash around those pre-existing lines. So rabbit goes around the tree, he goes around the tree, he goes into the ground. And he pops back up, and he goes around the trees again. So we're making a net here that is our structure for our second step. Go back into the ground. Okay, so I'm going to go rabbit, pops back up. We have the thread facing us. We get our beads. So pop the bead on, kind of let the bead kind of go off on its own. We go through the hole. Rabbit goes down through the hole. We pick up a little bit of the fabric, and our bead is just kind of floating there, and we pull it through, and we pull it so that the bead rests there. So it's a lot like knitting or crocheting with beads, where you sort of cue it up, you kind of have it like ready to go. When you have your needle crossing your thread, you always want your bead, you know, in front of that needle, not behind it, and then it will just fall into place. You just keep working around like this. Some of the beads are not necessarily going to behave right away. They might be at an odd angle, but all you need to do is just keep going, because usually they will settle down and then it'll all just blend in. Goes a little slower, and it's easy to forget to put that bead on, and then you have to kind of take out that stitch. You want to have a full length of thread before you start doing this. You do not want to run out of thread halfway, because it's very difficult to start it again. And I like to do this, it just adds a little extra bling to the shishas. And I like to do this as a framing device. So in that piece, it's used to make a frame around the central part, and I'm doing the same thing with this piece. There will be these all the way around, kind of create a visual frame for the piece and make it look kind of rich. And I'm only picking up the top of the silk dupioni, but when you're working with the silk dupioni, you have to be careful to pick up enough of it, because it is a pretty open weave, and if you don't go about 1/8 of an inch or so, then it's possible to not grab enough of the fabric, and it'll actually pull out, and you'll actually make a hole in the fabric. Just keep going. Here's the last guy. Go down through the hole. Do our last stitch, our last bead falls there, and we go down into the fabric and flip it and knot it. And that's that.